Hello, welcome. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. We are going to talk about the astrology of the week, and there's a lot of good things happening and some interesting big things happening, right? So, we're going to discuss the transits from September 10th to the 16th. We have a new moon in Virgo, Mercury goes direct. All that will be discussed here. So, stay with us to get it all. Also, I have some other things that I do, right? I have other videos that I have up right now because currently we have Mars in Libra. I explained that. I did the horoscopes on that and the tarot. So go ahead and look at that. Also, I have a podcast. So go ahead. All this is linked down below, of course, but I have a podcast and to discuss the current climate using tarot and astrology. And there I talk about the current events. Okay, so I discussed Hawaii in the last podcast and some other current events. What's coming up in the next episode on the podcast will be Hawaii again because there needs to be a part two. And I'm trying to think. Oh, Burning Man is a discussion, and there was something else, but all the current events, you get it. Oh, Apple is banned from China. So we'll get into all that in the podcast. So go ahead and follow my podcast. And also, I explain all the things that we're feeling currently as a collective. Sorry, I'm looking down. And what else do we have? Oh, I also have this video up. I'm filming this before, but this should be up before you watch this. And it is a tarot reading if you're into tarot. And currently we have Mercury in the sign of Virgo. I said it's going direct this week. But this is a video that explains everything Mercury in Virgo, not just Mercury retrograde Virgo. So go ahead and collect all that. So let's talk about currently what we have going on. Currently, Virgo season. That's what we're in right now. And again, I said Mars is in Libra and Mercury is in the sign of Virgo. Now, Mars in Libra, I'll just briefly say that is the energy of us just because I have a Mars in Gemini and I've had 2 altercations already. And I mean, I don't start problems. Okay. I'm just minding my business. However, everyone has some conflict, and Mars is basically saying how you solve that conflict. And I didn't use my voice, I was very diplomatic. I don't like that feeling. So, all my Mars and Libra, I feel sorry for you. The passive aggressiveness, I see why that happens. Or I wonder if you take it out on others later because you didn't take it out at the time because you're trying to be so diplomatic. Anyway, that was just very interesting. Just thought about that. And then also the Mercury in the sign Virgo. I love this energy. I know we're retrograding with this Mercury, and shout out to all my Geminis and Virgos. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing good. But don't worry, it will be ending soon. But what I was going to say is that I like this energy because you get a lot of, well, I get a lot of things done, and I'm tuned in and really focused on my technology and my input and processing. So I really love the energy. So, currently Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto are all retrograding. So let me see if I can even show that. Yeah, here we go. They're all retrograding. If you see all those planets in red, that is the sign of it retrograding. So Mercury retrograding because Mercury is associated with communication, technology, travel, and information, and some other stuff. But so when you have that, you have some understanding, you have glitches, missing emails with technology, and delays in travel and communication. Uranus retrograding. Uranus is the planet of change, innovation, and revolution, right? So when Uranus goes retrograde, you might bring some internal reflection and reconsidering your personal interests and how society is and society standards. Let me actually see if I'm trying to do some so you can see me too. Oh, I see. I have to be. Does that work? No. I need to scoot over. Hold on. Let me. Yes. Also, we have Jupiter retrograding, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth, abundance, and very optimistic. And when that is retrograding, people might be reevaluating their goals, their belief systems, and personal strategy, growth strategies. Also, you get a little thing with law and religion there too. So you get that when you have that retrograde. Um, with Jupiter, Neptune retrograding. Now, Neptune is about dreams and intuition and your subconscious, right? And what's hidden. And when you have that retrograding, there's a lot of deep emotions and reevaluating your spirituality. Saturn retrograding, structure. Saturn's about structure, father figures, the government, okay? Responsibility and discipline. So if that's retrograding, you might be reviewing long-term goals and career paths, because did I say it's about responsibility? Yeah, and discipline. And yeah, so you might be reevaluating. It's about reevaluating and revisiting these themes here. Pluto is about transformation, power, and regeneration. So when Pluto goes retrograde, it can signify a period of inner transformation, not outer, because it's also internal energy here and dealing with some subconscious issues. So Pluto retrograding to me is not as big as all the other planets, because Pluto is about regeneration and transformation. And I feel like that's what retrograde really does. So, you get what you get. Maybe it's just more internal with that energy. Okay, so let's talk about September 10th. Now it's not a huge deal, okay? September 10th, I mean, it's a deal, but it's dealing with the moon, and that's what we're going to really talk about this whole week, is really about the moon energy. So moon is in a sign of Cancer. And where do you see it here? Let me see. I'm looking at the chart with you. Oh, no, it's not showing there, but September 10th, it is already in Leo, but before that, it's in the sign of Cancer, and it's going to be opposing Pluto. And anytime something is opposing, so you're probably going to really feel this more on Sunday than you will on uh, Sunday. Yeah, more Sunday in the morning, Saturday at night. And I didn't look at the time, and I'm okay. Stay focused. The point is that you're gonna feel this maybe more Saturday than Sunday, and it's opposing. It's opposite. Whenever anything's opposing, there is tug of war, there's tension, there's duality, there's a balancing act. And the moon is in Cancer. It's very emotional, okay, and it's dealing with home and family. And Pluto, again, transformation, power, regeneration, right? And it's in a sign of Capricorn. So usually that's about, and hold on one second. So yes, Pluto is about, Pluto in the sign of Capricorn is associated with profound shifts in power structures and institutions on a society level and on a personal level, right? And it's retrograding, and the moon is going to crave emotional security, maybe in the home. Tension between emotional need for security. You may, with this energy, have confrontations with power struggles, especially from the mother and father. The moon represents the mom. I find that Saturn represents, which is in the sign of Capricorn, father figure. So there may be something that, but there will be some type of balance in between the two energies of power and struggle. There may be some type of internal transformation. The moon is very emotional and internal energy. So you may get something there, or, you may have some cultural themes related to power and struggle. So we'll have that emotional expression, stuff dealing with some family. So that's what we have there. And it's I said cultural, but I'm thinking more society, right? So on, it might be home versus work, family versus goals, father versus mother, government, control versus your emotions, short term, because the moon moves fast, so we're not going to feel this energy that long. Okay, so now let's talk about September 11th. The moon is in Leo. It's conjunct Venus, and Venus is in a sign Leo. And remember last week, Venus went direct. We'll get into, Venus is not fully direct, right? Venus is currently at 13 degrees. Yes. And 28 degrees, when it hits 28 degrees, that's when we will be fully cleared. We will be fully cleared at 28 degrees of the retrograde. And that's October 7th, because when it started to retrograde, if I can explain it, okay, when Venus started retrograding, it was at 28 degrees. So it's going, it's la, 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 and then it stops at 28 degrees. And then now it looks like it's going backwards, but it's really just slowing down. And it goes all the way back, and then it needs to go back to 28 for us to fully be relieved of that energy of the retrograde. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So that will happen October 7th. So here we have October 11th. The moon in Leo is conjunct Venus. That's why we were talking about that. And Venus is in Leo. Now, anything that is conjunct mean it's going to have the shared energy. It's like that's going to be the focus point, right? So Venus in Leo, it's all about the love, 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 love. And the moon in Leo, it's same energy, and emotionally, now we're dealing with some themes of dramatics and passion and being very expressive and wearing your heart on your sleeve, literally, and love and relationships. And children could be a big thing because the moon is very motherly, right? So you can be very confident, very self-assertive with social events or just with social gatherings, because Venus is all about socializing. And this aspect could have a strong appreciation for art and aesthetics. And again, romance and being very generous, because Leo is very generous and giving, especially when it's in Venus. And then dramatic flair. Okay, so the drama of it all, and maybe even emotionally dramatic. But you're on the stage, and that's what Leo's about. And leadership and confidence and a desire for recognition, which I'm saying the drama. Okay, now September 11th. We have September 12th, we have the moon again in Leo squaring Uranus. And the moon is always aspecting something because it's always moving. And I just thought, if we don't have any big aspects, let me give you what the moon's doing, okay? Because I'm a Cancer, so the moon's a big deal to me. But it's squaring Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And anytime a planet is squaring another planet, there's some tension, there's some conflict. It gives you action and motivation to change things up. Okay. Also, there's some inner struggles there, and it gives you the energy to have some growth because there's conflict, right? If you are a doer, you want this conflict to end. So there's emotional expression, because the moon in Leo is very emotional, and it really shows the emotions, especially when it comes to love and desire for stability, because Uranus likes things that are different, and maybe something different pops up and you may not like that. So tension between stability and freedom may come up, sudden emotional shifts, the need to be different. So you may have the opposite. You maybe want some change here, or there's some challenging relationships because you may be drawn to something that is not as exciting, or your relationship is not exciting, is what I'm saying. And again, you might be resistant to change. And then there's creativity with this, because it can give you a unique way to approach a problem that you're having with that Uranus, okay? And maybe even adapting, being very adaptable and having some change can come from that, okay? So now we have September 14th. September 14th is the big bam, okay? We have the new moon. If you see it in that 8th house there, that is the moon. A new moon is when the sun and the moon are together. And you see that in there in the sign of Virgo, okay? So let me just explain this real quick. So a new moon, that's going to happen at 6:40 p.m. And let's talk about some new moon rituals, okay? So you can perform your rituals on the day of the new moon, 24 hours to 48 hours following after the new moon. So do not feel pressured that you have to do it right then and there at 6:40. You don't. The new moon represents fresh starts, a time for setting intentions and focusing on new beginnings and manifesting. Okay, people love that. That's the new keyword. Remember that the new moon rituals are personal and you can adapt them to suit your personal beliefs and preferences. You don't have to do what everyone is saying to do if you don't feel comfortable doing that. It's setting clear intentions and using the rituals. You can use them as a tool for self reflection, empowerment, and a positive change in your life. Okay. So, for some rituals, you can create a sacred place. You can use crystals, have tarot readings. You can do a tarot reading, okay? Any type of spiritual tools, saging before you do it. Just make that sacred place and set your intentions at that sacred place, like an altar, right? Or where you meditate or where you pray, okay? Set your intentions. You want to manifest. You can journal your intentions. You can write it down. You can say them out loud. You can think them, whatever you feel, but make sure you make a clear and specific thought on what you want. Okay. Ground yourself. The new moon, go outside, be in the moon, touch the earth, especially with this new moon in Virgo, touching that ground, touching that earth, and do some meditation out there. You can cleanse and purify, physically cleanse, take a bath, take a shower, clean your house. That's very Virgo energy, right? So clean your house, organize, and purify. Clean the junk out of yourself spiritually, internally, because we're dealing with the moon and emotions. Clean your home too. Now light a candle. You can light a candle because it illuminates. So you setting some intentions. I love candle magic, and different colors represent different things. Purple will be the suggestion for this, and I'll get into that later. But if you want green for money, green for abundance, pink for love, you get to judge. You go ahead and do that. Now meditate, I said that earlier. And also you can meditate your goals and your intentions. Affirmations, write them down, put them in a mirror, say them several times. You can do that. New moon gazing, like I said, going outside, looking at the moon, spending time with the moon, connecting with the energy of this new moon. And you get it, feel it, to have your new beginnings and setting some new things. Now you have to release and let go. Usually that is also for a full moon, but it's like you're forced to do it. But this is also for a new moon too, because after you set your intentions, you want to release any of the doubts and fears, okay? That could be holding you back. Also with candle magic, you can write your intentions or write down the negative things and set it to the candle for your intentions to happen. Close the ritual, end your ritual with a closing statement of affirmation, like, so it will be. You know what I mean? So like if you're saying, I will buy a house, I will be a homeowner, I am going to go look for houses, I'm going to get the house of my dreams, close it with, so it will be. All right. And then you can blow your candle if you're doing candle magic. But I let the candle burn, so don't blow your candle. And also, you want to take action. You set the intentions, you pray, and then you get up and walk. That is a proverb. I don't know the exact proverb. That's also an Adinkra symbol. So go ahead, pray, set your intentions, and then go do the work for the intentions to actually work. Now, any new moons in September, you have the trees falling from the leaves, not the trees, the leaves falling from the tree. And that means that you want to get rid of things that you no longer serve you. Okay. Relationships, projects, thoughts, habits, whatever is the burden, it's time to let it go. Virgo is all about organizing and cleansing. So that is what this new moon is going to represent in any September. That's what it represents. The altar suggestions is that you can have an ivy plant or something that is an ivy. I pledge, AKA. So ivy just makes me think of that. But ivy represents adaptability, being very inspired, being very curious. It connects us to the ability to transform obstacles, to free ourselves from any obstacles and transform them into opportunities. Okay. And it's about having change and creativity. Now, wine is also really great with this new moon in Virgo in September because you're about celebrating and sharing, and it teaches us equilibrium, celebrating and sharing at the same time. Dark purple, and that's why I was saying the color of the candle, is representative of a September moon, and there's mystery, sacredness, and their inner quest is at its peak. Any inner solutions and inner quest to move up in a world. And yin and yang, it's all about balancing. That's why we have a lot of things that's representing like the wine equilibrium. There's a lot of things that represent balance. And so yin and yang is represented with this. So you can put that at the altar. You can think about it. You can research it. Apples represent the autumn equinox. So go ahead, put an apple, a ripe plum. And plums are very much in season right now. I love me. I got some plums from the farmer's market actually sitting in a bowl at the table there. Temperance is the tarot for this September new moon, and for this moon in September. And it's about equilibrium, alchemy, healing, balancing, and moderation. Okay, true harmony. So this new moon is going to be at 21 degrees. If you see that there, it says the 21 degrees there. And 21 degrees is a Sagittarian degree. And the Temperance card is a Sagittarius card. So there is harmony, abundance, expansion, wisdom. This could be higher learning, traveling, exploring new things. All those could be the theme. Now, when you look this up in the Sabian symbols, you round it up to 22 because it's 21 and something. Okay, it's not just fully 21 degrees. So you round it up. And when researching that and looking it up, it's about maintaining a code of ethics in a society that is falling apart, both morally and physically. Conservative resistance, change that can lead to moral decay and eventually revolution. It's all about a code of ethics, right? The rights of privilege. There is a reason and purpose for everything that exists, authority and certificate. And it's all about traditions, it sounds like, and sticking to your customs and your traditions and listening to your elders and wise men. And I find that anything earth energy is always about the traditions. Even though we're dealing with Virgo, and Virgo is very mutable and about change, but while you're changing, try to have a balance between the old and the new. A group may assert their authority, guard against abusing privilege, violating social morals, heritage, traditions, family lineage, authority, stewardship, values, integrity, honor, group, and unity. Those are all some major words with that. So let's talk about this new moon and what we can expect with this new moon. Let me try to, yes, here we go. So the new moon, Virgo traits, first of all, it's Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. I did a video on everything Virgo. Go ahead and check that out. And it's associated with qualities such as practicality, attention to detail, organization, analytical thinking, and desire for order and cleanliness. If you want more detailed information about Virgo, trust me, I hit it hard in everything Virgo video. So during this new moon, it's about taking inventory over your life, or maybe the work over your life, really getting into the nooks and crannies of things that need to be changed because we're dealing with that mutable energy. Practical new beginnings, being very realistic, not thinking in that Jupiter energy of very abundance, but no, being very practical and level-headed, because that is what the earth energy is about. Also, there's health and wellness. So having something new, dealing with your health and wellness. And Virgo is all about the ingredients. So there's something about that. And also working out and really caring about the body. Attention to detail. I kind of said that a little bit earlier, but now you're really focused on narrowing down those goals, those tasks, and those plans. And really having a precise plan for a successful outcome, right? Service and helping others. Virgo energy is all about service. So think about the community and how you can contribute to the well-being of others. Routine and efficiency. Virgo is the most routine energy ever. Okay. So there might be some newness on sticking to your daily routines and eliminating things that are not efficient when it comes to that routine. It makes me think of the Atomic Habits book. If you read that book, it's a great book. And you're probably reading that for Virgo. It'll be very fitting. Self-improvement, because the Virgo is like really self-critical. So you get that with Virgo energy, especially with the Mercury retrograding energy. But now you can set intentions on really improving all those things that Mercury retrograde was not working well on. Organizational projects, really getting in, or, you know, being organized and order, having some structure and order. Structure is not really what I want to say because that sounds more Saturn, but order to any kind of chaos and really cleaning those projects up. Communication. Remember, Virgo, Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So communicating and learning, very highlighted here. And that has been my big thing with this. Also, the practicality, me speaking from a personal level, that is what I really been learning with this Mercury and Mercury. I was about to say Virgo, Mercury, whatever. The Mercury in Virgo retrograding, practicality has been my biggest lesson with this. So you can kind of already know what my intentions will be. So the new moon in Virgo that same day is going to be opposite of Neptune. You see that's in 2 degrees. It's not showing it yet there, but it will be as it, because the moon moves pretty fast. It's not as strong, but it's lingering a little bit close there. Okay. So if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, just be aware of that energy, because Neptune is like, there's some confusion and someone may confuse you, but just be aware of that. Okay. So September 15th, we have Mercury station direct. So now it is direct. It is out of the red. Mercury here in this picture, if you are new to astrology, is sitting there in the 9th house up top there. I'm sorry I didn't change the decadence there, but it's fine. It's a little maybe throwing some people off, but whatever. It's in the 9th house there, and it's in 8 degrees. And 8 degrees, we'll get into that, it's a Scorpio degree. And it's dealing with death and wealth and power, so taking from others, manifestation, huge with that. So I'm seeing that there will be a big connection with manifesting, and you know, because you're trying to transform some things, right? It's also dealing with sex, secrets, some mystery things, and dealing with insurance, jealousy, and pregnancy. So there's some secrets there. But Mercury direct generally signals smoother communication, clearer thinking, is essential to exercise patience, especially during the transits, because it doesn't just cut off. Like I said, it will be gradual. It will truly end September 29th at 21 degrees, because that's where it started. Okay. So during this station, when Mercury stations direct, we will get a little more clarity, and there will be forward movement. Driving will be a little bit better for all these people who had car accidents. Also, there was a lot of discussions of rumors about health. And let me briefly say that when I remember when it first started to come, the energy, being with a group of friends, and they were all talking about rumors of cancer. Cancer was a big discussion since Mercury has been retrograding in the sign of Virgo. And you get the sense that there will be probably some closure or some understanding with that. And also COVID, the discussion of COVID. So that all may have some clarity or something new will happen with that. So, but Virgo is all about health. And then you have the sickness, just Saturn and Pisces. Well, whatever. And that's a whole nother video. But so Virgo's influence is all about the details, practicality, and analytical thinking. It's not just health, but also organization. A lot of problem solving will be happening when we get it going direct. So you'll be very efficient, be very productive. Health and wellness, there'll be some clarity or maybe some improvements, some dietary improvements, communication improvements will be happening with this, planning and being very strategic. Learning and education, because Mercury direct in Virgo is a great time to consider enrolling in some courses, okay, and pursuing some education, because the Virgo energy wants to take in, it wants to input the information with that Mercury energy. So go ahead and do that. Practical solutions, like I said, that's going to be my judge. I'm in that department. And attention to routine. That's why I love Virgo energy. That's why I love Virgo season, because I am a butterfly Sagittarius rising. So I need some routine in my life, especially as I get older, and my son will be progressing into Virgo. So I'm all here for the Virgo energy. So that same day, we have Virgo is trining Uranus, and that will happen at 6:24 p.m. Trine means that it's going to be some ease and harmony. Whenever something's trining, it's not going to take any effort. It comes to you naturally, and there'll be some opportunities. So remember Virgo season, we have the sun in Virgo, all the things that I talked about with Virgos, organization, analytical thinking, practicality, all that. Okay, also anything dealing with pets and service orientated situations is trining Uranus. And remember, Uranus is retrograding. It's in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus is about innovation, change, and individuality, freedom. And in the Taurus earth sign, it's about stability and values and material possessions. So when we have it retrograding, it can emphasize unconventional approaches to financial matters and values and personal security. So we have with this transit, very out of the box situations when it comes to attention to detail, very unconventional energy. Okay. Problem solving, we're going to be very unique. Maybe even the technology to problem solving will be given to us. Okay. And maybe like the routine of it will be happening. Adaptability will be happening too. You might be willing to adapt to some changes in your material and financial life. Because remember, we're dealing with Taurus. You can find creative solution and financial challenges are unconventional ways in earning money. Could happen. Interest in technology, because Uranus is about technology, right? And Virgo can input that information, and all that will be coming naturally. A desire for personal growth. The sun in Virgo is focused on self-improvement of all times because they're very critical of themselves. And then when you have that Uranus, there is some evolution here. And you're going to be experimenting with some new strategies with some personal development. And the sun is all about the ego and the self. So you will be getting that with that energy. I always press the wrong button. Original thinking can happen, and you're dealing with that with Mercury, but because we're dealing with that Virgo energy, that can happen, and it could help with the ego and help with your identity and help with yourself. Okay. And having some comfort and change. Be ready for that. So September 16th, that is a friend of mine's birthday. And Venus in Leo is going to square Jupiter in a sign of Taurus. Squaring is a very challenging aspect. A lot of people say it's for growth, and it's going to cause some growth because there may be some inner conflict or some tension and some tension, but inner conflict, especially because we have that retrograde happening, right? So Venus and Leo, we discussed, and it's about love and relationships and beauty and values, and it's very passionate and very dramatic and loves the romance, right? So you have that. Jupiter in Taurus Jupiter is the planet of expansion, growth, and abundance, and Jupiter is going to influence us with material security because it's dealing with Taurus and financial growth and a love for life's pleasures and comforts in a big way. So very sensual energy in a huge, because Jupiter is very expansive with growth and abundance, right? Now squaring, when you get the two squaring, there's going to be some conflict with this. So extravagance versus practicality, because Taurus is sure it's abundant with the Jupiter. I'm like, how do I oh, I see how. Sure it's abundance, but I'm there's going to be some dramatic and extravagant things happening. And Venus and Leo will be wanting to be extravagant, and Jupiter and Taurus will probably make it worse, and then you're going to see that you're overindulging. Okay. Conflicts and desires. Venus and Leo is going to seek attention and admiration, while Jupiter wants some security, because Taurus at the end of the day is an earth sign, and they're both fixed. So there's some stubbornness here. No one wants to budge. No one wants to meet halfway. You could be over optimistic. There's going to be a need for balance. It looks like I feel like there's going to be a need of balance with resources, because Leo and Venus is very extravagant, and Taurus could be extravagant as well. So there's self-reflection. Seeking adventure could happen too. conflicts with love, vanity, could be a big thing, overspending, eating sweets due to lack of friends or lack of love, overdone with aesthetics. This I could definitely imagine because Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So I can see that happening. Also, laziness. Okay. Just no, I'd rather sit here and binge watch, and because we got all these other planets in Pisces and it's retrograding, and I just rather sit here and binge watch TV all day. So just be aware of that. And you could be passive because the Venus and Leo could be melted down, and there could be some of that, and having too much fun, just overdoing the fun to that it causes you to crash. Okay. Not wanting to go in the inside. Because Leo is all about the sun, right? And it may be like, let's party hard, and that could cause a crash. Okay, so that is what we have for the week. Coming up next week, we have Libra. Season is going to begin. That's exciting. Who's excited about that? I am. And of course, I'll break down everything Libra. But so far, I'm interested in aesthetics and love, my relationships. Okay. So I love that energy. And September equinox, we'll break that down. What does that mean for us? Also, that's somewhat of a mini little form of a New Year's too. So we have all that. I hope you enjoyed. Next video will be on horoscopes. So we'll get into that in the next video. But I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.